Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first Group H match between Peter and Victor. This is gonna be it's gonna be an interesting match. Actually, I forgot to update that Group F thing, but yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. So, let's see how Group H balances out. Cham and Edwin are also in this group, so this is gonna be quite an experience. So, without further ado, let's begin. I believe Victor was the better seed, actually. Um,
Yep.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
what would you like to go for, heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails. All right. Coin flip. Looking for tails here, and it is tails. So, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second.
You'll go second. All right. So, Peter, you could start, and then we're gonna alternate, and it's gonna be first 15. There's gonna be a halftime break if you guys want it at sum of 15. So, I'll let you guys know when that happens. All right. Good luck to the both of you. All right, and we are off with our only match of the day today. It is going to be Peter versus Victor. This is where's the poll? I should definitely add that. Yeah, this is going to be quite a match, but Peter's going to start us off here at the bottom. Very similar setups though, so this is going to be a bit hard to track. And that seemed a little slow. Oh, it's DNF. Yep.
I did not put the DNF in. Can I change that?
It's gonna be a DNF.
Okay.
We're gonna look at Victor. All he has to do is just solve the clock. That's it. And that will give us the first thing there. All right. I think that's a 4. Let's see. Peter entering. It's gonna be a 4. Yep. All right. Peter off with the first point of the match. That is definitely a confidence booster here. All right. Victor's gonna start. Can he control this lead? All right. The poll. Oh yeah, right. Okay. That's gonna be a solved clock and a decent solve, 476. I do want to see who chat thinks will win right now, so I'm setting that up while Peter solves or is inspecting right now. Alright, that looks pretty good. It's gonna be a 460. Peter takes the point barely. And then, yeah, this is interesting. It's like Polish versus Denmark. It's kind of cool seeing these international matchups, because it always seems like in the chat that that they're representing countries here, which is really awesome and interesting. All right, we have 7 votes here. Victor is leading right now. Maybe that's it's a 415. That is really good. That could be Peter's first time taking the lead. Well, this early lead, I should say. Victor's gonna start off, see if he can beat a 415. If he does, that would be a pretty interesting comeback here, or pretty interesting way to take the point. Let's see how he does. First side. Where is it? No flip? Oh. Yeah. It's not not optimal. It's probably gonna be a 6-7, a 6. So Peter takes that point for right now. A lot of support for Victor in the chat and also in the poll. I did see some earlier support for Peter before. Peter is the Polish NR holder. I think when I first saw his name, I think that was a. If you drop the clock, that's a DNF. Yeah. So that's gonna.
How do I type it?
You can just do any number and then click DNF. Yes, that's gonna be. It's gonna be a DNF for Victor. Peter's gonna solve here. I'm not sure if he knows that he can just safety it, which is gonna make this really bad, but well, is it also a DNF? Yeah, that's a DNF. So no, just so you're aware, since you guys both DNF'd, no points are awarded.
Yep.
All right. So it is still 2-1. It's gonna be C. Victor definitely had that chance. Maybe Peter should have been more aware that was gonna be a DNF, but whoops. Yes, that's part of no flip. Actually, I do realize that this is a completely no flip match, so it's gonna be an interesting viewer experience. We have 479. These competitors are averaging pretty similarly high 4s, with some some frequent mistakes and also some frequent good solves. So we're gonna see how that goes. What I'm looking for here in a no flip solve is I usually look for composure, and that did not. Was that composure? Or was that just really close? Oh, it's another DNF from Victor. That's going to be a point for Peter. Yeah, so like I said before, what I'm looking at is I'm looking for composure. I'm looking for just in general, I guess you can get a vibe of a clock solve. If you drop the clock, it's probably a bad solve. So things like that, I guess, or you get what I'm saying. We're gonna checking pretty closely here. This is an interesting scramble. Not sure if it's just the turning speed, but it does seem consistent. Yeah, not necessarily all out as I've seen in other competitors. But that's gonna be a 460 free. It's pretty good. Let's see how Peter deals with this one. Can he hold his lead? He might. No. I'm not sure if that's going to cut it. Yeah. Looks like a DNF. Alright. This is definitely going to be the match of DNFs as... But the thing is that with those DNFs, it's a good opportunity for the competitors to take advantage. So, honestly, my strat here would just be to solve the clock. Just not DNF it. I mean, or take it easy at least, is what I should say. I mean, the whole point of Clock Up is to solve the clock, but I would take it easy if I were these competitors. But I am also a competitor, and I do not use no flip, so I cannot speak. Peter's going to be solving. We're going to... oh, wow. All right, that looks pretty good. What's that gonna be? It's gonna be a free 85. All right, that's gonna be hard to beat for Victor. I don't think he's got a sub 4 yet, but it is very early in the match, so we can see what happens here. Looking at the scramble, it's nothing. I mean, I do see an edge skip after the edge skip on there. Is that gonna be a free? I don't think it's gonna be a free. Yeah, it's like an interesting timer stop. It's going to be a point for Peter to increase the lead. Let's look at the poll. 69% Victor, 31% Peter. That is quite interesting. We're going to see how Victor is not winning the match right now. But I guess there's a lot of support for him. Alright. Composure. That's what we're looking for. We do find it. Let's see what the time is. It's a 4:24. It's great for Victor. Excuse me. No flip, no fun. Wait, both use 7 simul? I'm not sure about 7 simul, but definitely no flip. Alright. Definitely memoing. Yep. Let's see here. Oh. Yeah. That's not... Yeah, that had potential to be a great solve. But that turn at the end was just not it. That's going to be a 488 for Peter and a 424 for Victor. Let's see if Victor can turn this around a little bit. As Peter solves, trying to increase that lead to 5-3, but Victor can equalize it right now. Or at least if he finds composure. It seems to be a little rough. Is that a DNF? It's not a DNF, but it is a 481. It seems like it could have been better. The scramble looks alright. I don't really see a full edge skip, but I do see some adjacent edge skips to work with. And there was a no flip solver you try to put in the bottom left. So let's see if it does that. And keep, or could be just 7 simul. Oh, it's a DNF. Peter increases the lead. Victor had a chance, but let's see if he puts in the time for that.
Ooh.
Oh, he disconnected.
Uh,
There we go. 437. That would have been something if it weren't for that DNF. Yeah, always seeing a DNF definitely keeps your hopes down and does not raise your confidence that much. Many viewers here are from the Northeast, like, New Jersey area. If there is any connection issues, I do apologize. The wildfires here have been getting pretty bad. It's 4 something for Victor, yeah, 496. Being consistent, but those DNFs are like nails in the coffin for him. So let's see if it's the same for Peter. I think they've had similar DNF rates, so maybe that's why this match is so close. Victor is looking for the comeback, looking for something under 496 to increase the lead. That's a DNF. It's going to be a point for Victor. It's going to be 9 points. It's kind of interesting because as a viewer, if you really don't like how the solve is looking, at least in terms of the chances for winning, you could always just hope that there's a DNF somewhere. And, that's how you break dreams. No flip. But we're gonna get this solve from Peter, trying to keep his lead, because if he doesn't, then Victor equalizes. First time in a long time that he's done that. Doesn't look... Yeah, it's another DNF. That is another DNF from Peter. It's 2 DNFs in a row. I can definitely see, if you are a flip solver, how you would be taking advantage of these DNFs, because that is a huge advantage to have when you're going up against someone who uses no flip. But if you're slower than them, yeah, looking safetying, it's gonna be a 625, but it doesn't really matter. Solve the clock, so it's gonna be an equalizer for Victor. Anyway, as I was saying, if you're slightly slower, that could definitely make the match a lot more competitive. But if you have someone like Caleb Strelford, who I don't think really DNF'd that much in Claw Cup, it's gonna be really really cool to see how no flip against flip, I guess. So we already saw that match between Eddie and alright, it's solved. We already saw a full no flip match between, I believe, Eddie and Tommy, and that was a complete blowout, mainly because Tommy is much faster than Eddie, I think. Eddie's clock cup average, or actually he's probably not much faster, but Tommy's definitely faster. He has multiple records and multiple, it's gonna be a solved clock. And wait, what was that? Was that 406? Or sorry, 706. It's gonna be a point for Victor. Peter's 99% Sheeran, I'm sure. I'll try to look at his solve, see what happens. Yeah, you can see from the pin order of solves. Yeah, alright. This clock up is just a lot of names I haven't heard before. Yeah, this is a great way to try to get out some of those people who aren't that prominent in the clock cup scene. And I think this is a great competition that uses its platform to try to stir up some hype for all of the upcoming clock solvers, especially in the no flip community. Because we had 2 no flip users in I believe Clock Cup Season 1, and I think this time around about a fourth. No, I wouldn't say a fourth, but a very good fraction of them are no flip solvers. So it's very exciting as a commentator and also as a competitor. Alright, that looks pretty smooth. Is that going to be a 5? I think it's going to be a 5. It's going to be a 3. It's even better. Alright, that is a point for Victor, solidifying the lead. He's been on a hot streak, winning, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these past solves. Yeah, it was back and forth at one point, but now it's not. It is a Victor blowout so far, at least. Speaking of Victor, he's gonna solve right now. Polska. Do you remember going to some competition and all these Polish people yelling Polska every time they won? But that's a DNF. Alright, time for Peter to close in on Victor a little bit here. Trying to steal back the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not... Yeah, that's a DNF. Alright, yep. See, I'm not sure if Peter knows that he has... Yeah, he knows he has a safety. It's going to be a 479. It's a solved clock. So it's going to be 6-7. 2 more points until the halftime break. Where did the time go? That is it's going to be quite an interesting decision. Very small amount of clockers actually use no flip here in the US. Yeah, I think it's been very interesting. I think a lot of Polish, a lot of European users, so a lot of European no flip users. Let's see. It's DNF. All right. What a way for Victor to close in or make this, maximize this as much as possible. Peter can still make a comeback, but this is not a great place to be in at halftime. If you're down points and you have to make a tough decision if you want to keep going or not. That's going to be a solved clock and a 5. Alright. Yep, 16. Alright, I got confused because I thought it was halftime already, but it's not halftime, unfortunately. Victor right now has a mean of 503. Peter with a 491 mean, but Peter has DNF'd more times. He's DNF'd 5 times in this match, so that is not a great. Is that okay? It's gonna be a 4. Beatable for Peter, considering his mean, but I don't know about. I don't know. It's getting kind of close, or kind of rough. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah, the DNF. All right, it is 6-9. All right, hey guys. So we're gonna go. Do you guys want a halftime break?
I don't need one.
Yeah, I don't need one as well.
All right, we're gonna keep on going. Yeah. Why do you guys? Okay. So we're gonna keep on going. A lot of you don't want halftime breaks, which is interesting, but I'll eat my airheads later. We're gonna look at the Peter's solving right now. All right, memoing a little bit. Let's see how this goes. Looks to be smooth, but those D moves looked a little sluggish. 494. At least it's a solved clock for once from Peter. Definitely throwing away a couple of points that could have very well been used. Alright. Victor using... let's see here. That's going to be a solved clock. It looks like a great solve. It's a 443. That is going to beat it. We have entered double digits. Is it too late for Peter? Those DNFs might have been very, very costly. We're going to see how it ends, though. So it can either end in 5 solves or 11 solves. They'll be the judge of that one. But this was definitely a very close match at the beginning, if some of the viewers are still here. Yeah, alright. We're going to check the backside. That's good. It's a 442. Victor's trying to find his groove here. Peter's still looking for points. He hasn't gotten a lot of them, especially due to those DNFs. Only conceding 1 point to a DNF in recent memory, yeah. The past 8 points, he's only won 1, and that was because of a DNF. So that is insane. To be a 3. That is a point for Peter, finally. That's a great point for Peter. 356. Wow, oh my god. Could it still be for Peter? Does he still have a chance? In my opinion, Peter should take the break. Yeah, I think that would have been a good strategy. If you're always down, I feel like you should take that break. Or unless you're making a comeback, or you're trying to make the comeback, I think it might be good to yeah, that's DNF, but it has the potential to be something really good. It's a 466. Yeah, Peter's not going to be happy about that. I think he should have taken that break, maybe to find his group again, because at this point his problem is just solving the clock. It's not even that Victor's been solving any extra well, which is, he has been solving very well, but it's just that he hasn't solved the clock, and that's the whole point of this event. So it's going to be another point for Victor. It is 7-11 right now. All right. Victor's gonna start. Looking for his 12th point here. Peter's only grabbed 2 in recent memory. It's been 2 points in the past 9 solves. It's 7-2 from Victor's standpoint. But as a fumble from Victor, it's gonna be a solved clock though. At least it's a 5:30. Be the first 5 non-safety we've seen in a while. We're gonna look at Peter, see what he's gonna do. No, that's DNF. Yeah, this is a reoccurring problem I think in no flip matches. Everyone just keeps on DNFing. It is insane. But 3 more solves and I think Victor is gonna win this match pretty comfortably too. There's no real climax to be honest. I believe Peter's starting. Yep. We're gonna see if Peter can snag some points, maybe make this match still a little competitive. That's a really good solve though. Is that gonna be a free maybe? Or no, it's a DNF. It had a potential to be a really good solve, but that's another free point for Victor. That's gonna be like double-digit DNFs for Peter so far. Yep, Victor looks at the backside. It's a great strategy for safetying. It's gonna be 13 points for Victor. It's 2 more points that Victor needs. Peter needs 7 more points to force an overtime scenario, or 8 points to win. Victor just needs 2 to finish this match. So, Victor's gonna start us off here. Alright. And he's starting. Going. Oh, yeah. That's not great, but it's a solved clock. I can't read the time on that. The bitrate has dropped a little bit. But that's going to be a 590. So, yeah, bitrate has dropped on both sides for me, but I think that's okay. Yeah, Peter's looking like a safety. Is that... It's a 4. But did he DNF? Or, oh, no, he didn't DNF. But, checking the backside. Yeah. Alright. It's going to be a point for Peter. Can Peter overtake the lead? Can he make this miraculous comeback? Carter, what are the DNF rates? So far, Peter has 9 DNFs. Victor has 3. So, that is a... there's been 22 solves, so 9 and 22. It's going to be 4.5 and 11, 2.25 and 6, or well, 5.5, 2.25 and 5.5. So that's like a 1 in some, I have no idea. But it's going to be a 5:49, finally solving the clock. Let's see if that throws off Victor a little bit. Possibly could. Peter's still in striking distance. It's not necessarily a blowout yet, but it's just been extremely unfortunate and a complete throw from Peter, in my opinion. Let's see if this is the first point that he... Oh, that's a DNF. Yeah. Peter's closing in a little bit. Finally. Finally, we can see maybe some ground action. Alright, Victor's going to start us off here. looking for that match point. The glorious number 14. He's trying to get out of 13 here. Maybe that's what's making him unlucky. Just kidding, I'm not superstitious, but we're gonna look and see how Victor reacts here. I think this is a great example of how no-flip matches can be. And there's different strategies to it, but that's a DNF. Did Victor throw this a little bit? Is it Victor with the DNFs now? Is he gonna... Can Peter overtake this? Have the tides turned? Alright, Peter solving. Peter can get very lucky here. That's a 6, but we don't really care about the time. We just care if the clock is solved, and it is. That's going to be 10 points. 10 points for Peter. Victor's just looking for 2 more here. And that's also very good, because for Peter, that would have definitely hurt his solve difference. And this win is really important, because the next matches are against Cham. It's honestly pretty likely that Cham will beat out both of them, or pretty much take this group pretty easily. And then along with that, you have to get this win, because if you don't get 2 wins, it's a very good chance that you are eliminated from this group. So you want to pull out the most wins you can get early so that you don't get eliminated late. It's going to be a 474 from Peter. Can Victor get that match point finally? He's thrown, I believe, 3 of the past solves. So with DNFs and a 590. Alright, let's see if that's going to beat a 474. It might. Solved clock. It's a 3. Alright, it definitely does. Let's double check that. Yep, that's a 3. Alright, Victor's at match point. This is going to be the point, or the benchmark to beat for Peter to try to stay in this match. If Peter loses, there's a solve difference of -5 for him, which just set him back a little bit, especially because he's not getting those free points. But we're going to see how this goes. This is for the win, or at least the benchmark for the win. Alright. I think choosing to go a little steady. That's good. Oh, no, it's not. That's DNF. Peter can hold on for dear life here. Let's see. Peter just needs to solve the clock to get a free point, basically. Being very casual with the flipping, using that one hand. I think that's pretty risky, to be honest. I've actually never seen that before in clock. It's going to be a time that I can't read, but it is a solved clock. So that's going to be a 508. I got really scared there. I thought the Peter was the one who DNF'd, and I was like, oh wait, what did I do wrong? But no, I just cannot read. This is going to be the benchmark to be for Victor. Peter just cannot, and I repeat, cannot DNF these next 3 solves. Because if he does, then it is over for him, essentially. He has just given Victor the lead. So I think if I were him, I would be working on trying not to go all out and DNFing. And let's see if that's the chance. 395. Yeah, we're getting pretty heated. This could be a point for Peter. Can Peter get this going? Can he make this a reality? Or is Victor somehow going to be a 3? I don't think that... Yeah, that didn't do it, especially with that timer stop at the end. It was a 557. Points for Peter here. Can Peter make the comeback? This is very exciting. If Peter can pull off these next 2 solves, it will be harder for Victor to win. And Victor will have to win by 2. And then After that, it's over. But Victor has to safety, has to go at an average speed. Peter's snacking on something, but Victor has to pull a good solve, but that's not gonna do it. That's a DNF. He is fumbling and fumbling very hard. He has just given Peter
It's a DNF.
a free point, for Victor, or a free
How do I
point for
change it?
Peter.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a DNF. I hope you know Victor DNF'd that solve. Okay. Yeah. All right. It's going to be. Let's see. Should definitely check the other side. Yep. That's going to be a solved clock. 13 points. Peter just has to win this solve, and then we go into overtime. This is insane. I think.
I was scrambled, so maybe it's not good enough.
Alright, that's fine. Peter misscrambled. Alright. This is it. Looking at the scramble here, it doesn't look that great. All Peter has to do is he has to just hold off for one more solve. And then it could be a win. It could be a good match for him. Technically, Victor is still at match point, so we're just looking at a decent solve here. Decency. Decency is key. I'm not sure if we're going to get it here. That looked pretty... Is that a DNF? Or... It's a 653. I think he may have just bottled it. He was making that comeback. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. At least it's only a solve difference of 2, which isn't that bad. But, yeah. Interesting D-move thing. It's a solved clock. Alright. Victor has won this match. 15-13. Congratulations, Victor. You have won. Can we do a post-match interview really quickly, if that's okay with you two?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that was a great match from both of you. That comeback was very interesting. Let's just look at the solves here. You guys were back and forth through the first portion of the match, but I think Victor started to gain a lot of ground, and a lot of ground, that is. I think he won, let's see here, it's 10-2 between solves 10 through 21, or I don't think that math is right, but yeah, and then Peter started to win some solves, but Victor put the final nail in the coffin, that last solve. So, what were your thoughts about the match?
Okay, I can start, I guess, since I lost. I mean, not obviously, I underperformed a lot. I've always felt more stress in online comps than like ever in official, which is, I mean, it's probably the better of the two to be nervous in, but for some reason it's way harder for me to compete here. And yeah, also Victor was a way better opponent than his like WCA profile suggested. So maybe I came in underprepared.
Yeah. Victor, what do you say to that?
Yeah, it was a great match, but definitely, I still feel you would have beaten me if it wasn't for all those DNFs. It's a shame.
Yeah.
So I was also really nervous on the last solves because I went into the solve or into this match not thinking that I would win because I mean it's you and you have a 4.20 official average, but no, it was fun.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah, so those DNFs, I think those are definitely something to talk about, because I think, in my opinion, I was like talking about it. I thought Peter kind of threw the match there with the DNFs. No offense, but then Victor started the DNF, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. So how do you think no flip in general kind of affected this match, especially with those DNFs?
I mean, I always go like full. I mean, we use different types. I use shear and he uses 7 Samo. So obviously, for me, it should be technically easier because the memo is way easier. But I think it's just I have the same like mentality as an official that I always like wanna do as best as I can, which just means go not as safe usually. So that's where the DNFs come from. Mm, yeah, I think this, and also because this is an average of 5, this is like a different format. DNFs are a completely different thing here because if it's an average of 5, you can handle one DNF, you can work around it. But in here, each DNF is actually like not way worse, but worse than an official because you cannot do anything like to avoid it later because just solve it yourself.
Yeah.
There's also a considerable difference in how many nerves you have, or how easy it is, especially like the first move and 7-timer with the pinky.
Yeah.
That was horrible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a considerable difference, like yeah, with or without a flip.
Yeah, that was definitely a very entertaining match to watch. Here's my final question. So you're placed in the Group H. Your opponents are gonna be Edwin Shen and the great Jacob Chambers. So what are your thoughts going into those matches, especially since Victor has the advantage here, and Peter, you might have to work to win your next match.
Mm, yeah, I don't think I don't think I'm getting out of this group. I think this match decided. Uh, I mean, obviously we don't know how Jacob and the other guy will perform, but I think it's fair to assume that Jacob will be the first. So like any loss that is not to Jacob is obviously uh, very bad.
Yeah, this is definitely like the most interesting match in terms of placements, but I'm definitely looking forward to the other two matches.
I am not looking forward to the time zones. That's gonna be
Oh,
yeah. I have to wake up at 6 a.m. for the Chib and Edwin match, so
Oh
I think I'm
no.
gonna have to do something similar for the next ones. But uh, yeah. So thank you guys. That was a great performance from you both. And tomorrow, I believe we have a match. I really want to remember who it is. I'm gonna pull it up on my screen really quickly. It's gonna be tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's Caden versus Carter Thomas. That is a match you do not want to miss for Group D. I will see you all